quote. I believe it's from Vadi Bachman, where he said, and I think it's really powerful. He said that basically biblical love, or love that's expressed inside the Bible that God displays, is led by actions and accompanied by emotions. Because I feel like if you're led by emotions, then, what if those emotions change? You know what I mean? Like, you can't really rely completely on your emotions. The emotions could validate, I feel like, in certain instances of like what is happening to you and the experiences that you're going through, but that shouldn't be the end all be all to dictate how you should deal with a certain situation.
Yeah.
I feel like when you see throughout the whole Bible, God loves his people, and his people keep turning away from his teachings, turning away from his love, turning away from his character over and over and over and over and over, but yet God keeps pursuing them.
Yeah.
He keeps loving them. He keeps stretching out his hand. Now, they might extend the suffering and extend the problems, but I feel like that right there shows a sense of commitment, shows that it's going to take work. It's going to take action. When you're in love with someone, or when you're just honestly in any relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be dating, girlfriend or boyfriend, parents, everything, there needs to be actions. And then from those actions, I believe you can very well see what a person really means for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Does that make sense?
I like how that definition clears up that love is not an emotion. That I think that can get mixed up in culture too, and that love is an emotion. It's like happiness. It's like, that, but you see God loving us in every emotion. You see Jesus goes through every emotion in his walk on earth. I mean, he was human, obviously, but you see his love, and his pride and his happiness with his disciples and with those around him. You also see, love, in his anger. You see love in his righteous anger. You see love, in his sadness. You see love when John the Baptist is beheaded, and you see him grieve over that. And you see his raw love for his predecessor, basically. John the Baptist paved the way for him, and so you see love in all those different ways. You look at the Old Testament, and you hear the conception that the Old Testament God was different, that he was angry and vengeful, a little more hard-nosed. But there's love in that. You see, we talked about where he said, turn the other cheek, that these people are wronging you, that he's disciplining them. But you don't discipline somebody if you don't love them. You have to have love and discipline. It's
That's good.
It's the parents that, like, if a parent is not disciplining their child, they don't love the child.
Yeah.
Which is terrible to say, and I'm not a parent, so I'm not gonna sit on a platform.
I'm
not going to sit on a platform out here giving parenting advice. But, my parents loved me because through discipline. They didn't want me to make the same mistakes. They didn't want me to make the same mistakes that they made. And in the same way, they let me make mistakes sometimes. My mom has admitted that she wished we let us. She was almost too protective at times, but that was also in love. But if you're gonna let somebody make if God was gonna let us make those same mistakes over and over again, and without discipline, there's no love there. There's no love there, because then we're just gonna make those same mistakes. We're not actually gonna grow closer to Him.
Yeah.
So He says, I'm gonna discipline you because I love you.
Dude, that's powerful.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it puts it in a good perspective, right?
It's definitely, it's like a wrestling. It's like, it reminds me of Jacob wrestling with God.
Yeah.
And then his name gets changed to Israel.
Yeah.
Or Israel. And Israel literally means one who wrestles with God. And then you find out, that all the Israelites, that's their name, and it's and then you see it constantly over and over throughout the Bible, that they wrestle with God. They turn away, then they come back, they turn away again, and they come back, and then you got the Psalms with David wrestling with God.
Yeah.
he turns away from God and then he comes back and he's favored from God. This is a man after God's own heart, and yet he does things that you would not expect a man after God's own heart to do. And it's really fascinating, that concept of wrestling with God and how that contributes to love, because I feel like that also shows how it is to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to wrestle.
Yeah.
You can't give up. You have to be willing to wrestle with that person that you love.
Yeah.
Through all the turmoil, through all of it, you have to. And wrestling's not easy. I mean, as you know, you used to wrestle. Wrestling's not easy. There's going to be a whole bunch of uncomfortable situations. There's going to be horrible feelings in it. Yeah. Horrible emotions in it. Oh, yeah. But yet, when you truly love someone, you are going to continue to pursue them and continue to wrestle with them. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because it's like that's how much God loves us.
Yeah.
That even when we're like trying not to even wrestle at that point, he's still there grabbing us. Hey, we're not done yet.
Yeah.
We're not done yet. Even though you might not think that this is good for you, I do. Mm-hmm. It's almost like trying to force a baby to eat.
Yeah.
You got to wrestle with that baby to try to, you know what I mean? Like, because you know what's good for that baby.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't eat, then, it doesn't get the correct nutrients, and then that can overall hurt the baby's health. And it's almost like this is how we are with God. We're a baby.
Even greater.
Yeah.
Like, think about the difference between a baby and a grown person. And now think about the difference between us and God. Like, it's just this huge disparity in just kind of understanding and power and influence. Mm-hmm. And which is what's so amazing about how much he loves us. Mm-hmm. But also in just how he acts with us and how patient he is with us.
Yeah.
And you just see that, and you see that in his love for us.
Yeah. Sheesh.